contestants, to your first official trial. Now, all of you should have read the rules we provided for you in the rulebook, but since this is your first time playing the real game, I'll briefly explain the rules again. The official trial is different from that mock trial. Here, one amongst you was killed, and another amongst you was their killer. Although, as you may have already known, your goal in this trial differs depending on your role. You see, at the end of the trial, you will all be asked to vote for one person amongst you. That person alone will be executed. It doesn't matter if they're the culprit. Therefore, if you're one of the lambs, you would want to kill the wolves or the assassin. If you're one of the wolves, you may want to protect yourself and your comrades. If you're the assassin, you should try and get everyone to vote off your target. And if you're the Joker, put up a convincing performance so that everyone would believe you're the most suspicious. That is all for the explanation of the trial. Any questions?
What is this thing next to me?
Oh, it's a tribute for our fallen comrade.
Is that really necessary?
Yes.
Okay.
Well then, any other questions?
Will we receive any sort of punishment if we can't figure out who the culprit is?
Nope, you can vote for whoever you want. There'll be no consequences for not voting the culprit. Of course, that'll also mean that an innocent person will get executed.
Yes, it would be wrong to sentence an innocent person to death. However, logically speaking, whoever committed the murder is 100% a wolf according to the rulebook.
So, it's best that we figure out who the culprit of this case is if we want to get rid of all the wolves. But more importantly, we should all take this case seriously with the presence of the Joker.
Yeah, we're all gonna be executed if the Joker receives the highest votes.
All of us are going to be executed?
No, I'm only speaking hypothetically. What I meant was that we need to figure out who killed Shoji. Not only to bring him justice, but also to guarantee that we won't accidentally vote for the Joker.
What does that mean?
The murderer is most definitely not the Joker, is what he means. The Joker would immediately be executed if they killed someone. Furthermore, according to the rules, if a lamb commits murder, they will be turned into a wolf. So, by that logic, you can assume that the murderer will always be a wolf or the assassin.
Identifying the culprit is the same as identifying a wolf, meaning if the culprit is executed, we lambs would have one less wolf to deal with later.
Yes! Let's all try our best to defeat that big bad wolf!
Indeed. We must work together. I believe there is not a single chance the perpetrator could escape from us.
Ugh, y'all are talking too much. Why don't we just find this damn killer already?
Yeah! Listen up! Remember when we were all making ramen in the kitchen and talked about how seafood ramen is the worst thing to ever exist? Well, after we were done cooking and left, the culprit went into the kitchen through the garden, then placed Shoji's body against the door. Finally, they headed out to the dining hall, put that letter down, knocked on the door, and escaped! You know the case is easy when even I can solve it!
Are you just admitting you're dumb at this point?
Obviously not! The culprit is an amateur! After all, nobody can escape my powers of foresight!
Technically, Yui isn't wrong. Surprisingly, that's the same order of events I suspect happened. Although, further discussion will still be absolutely necessary. We cannot end this trial just yet.
Alright, that's a plausible theory. But first, I want to take a look at the crime scene. We should be able to explain exactly when and how Shoji was killed before pointing out who the murderer is. Let's start with the time of the murder.
The time? Did X not give us information regarding that fact?
The case file did display some information about the murder, but X did not show us Shoji's time of death.
Yeah, so we can't pinpoint the exact time Shoji died.
What? I'm pretty sure we at the dining hall knew when he died.
When we were all having breakfast. The killer was busy killing Shoji in the kitchen!
It all happened right under our noses!
Let's start with the time of the murder.
The time? Did
The case file, but X...
Yeah, so
What?
When we were all having breakfast. The killer was busy killing Shoji in the kitchen!
No, that's wrong!
No, Hikari. I'm positive Shoji wasn't killed in the kitchen while we were eating breakfast.
What?
The walls between the kitchen and the dining hall are thin. Therefore, its insulation is close to none. If a fight occurred in the kitchen, we would have known. Yet, we didn't hear anything while we were eating. Not a scream, not even a thump.
Then, when do you suggest Shoji might have died?
I got it! During the investigation, I went to Shoji's room with Shion, and I found this crumpled up note inside the trash can.
Meet me inside the kitchen at 1 a.m. Let's exchange roles?
1 a.m.? Wouldn't it be nighttime then? How could a wolf leave their room?
It's possible. If you don't go back to your room during nighttime, then you wouldn't be locked in. There's no rule for us staying outside our rooms during nighttime after all, so obviously, this note was sent prior to midnight.
wait, how and when did you get access to his room?
Shion asked X for permission. X allows us to go inside the victim's room if the purpose is for the investigation.
Jeez, you should have told us that earlier, X.
Oh, I'm sorry, but did you ask?
You clearly didn't state that in the rules. It's not my fault you're bad at your job.
More importantly, Kakeru-senpai, why did you decide to investigate with her? She could have damn well forged that note and planted it there beforehand. She's the most suspicious one here.
Yes, the fact that she is the most suspicious one is exactly the reason why I decided to investigate with her. I needed to keep an eye on her, and I can assure you that I was the one who found the note. Shion did not place it there.
We can go into his room freely, right? Then what if she planted that note before the investigation?
Miss Noriko, I would like to clarify that I don't unlock the door of any participant's room if it's not for the sake of the investigation. I also want to confirm that it was the first and only time Shion and Kakeru entered Shoji's room.
Fine. Not like it matters.
Anyways, I'm quite sure whoever wrote this probably wanted to trap Shoji and murder him. Then he somehow fell for it. In other words, the murder most likely happened during the nighttime.
That doesn't mean the time of death is exactly 1 a.m. The killer could just knock him out, hide him somewhere, then kill him in the morning.
No, I'm pretty sure that's impossible. First of all, I agree with Izumi's point. The time of death can't be pinpointed, but it definitely occurred during nighttime. And to further prove this point, we should look at how Shoji was killed. Let's discuss the method of murder.
Isn't that already obvious?
Yeah, he was fucking stabbed to death.
I didn't take a close look at the crime scene, but I think Akari's correct.
No, he was not killed by that knife. There is evidence for another method that the killer used.
Let's discuss the method of murder.
Yeah, he was fucking stabbed.
I didn't take a close look at the...
No, he was not killed by that knife. There is evidence for another...
I agree with that. Another method? Are you talking about that, Kichibe?
Of course. What else would I be talking about?
Another method? God, I hate it when people speak so vaguely in trials.
Where's the fun in spelling everything out to you, dummies?
Nuh-uh! It's not about fun! It's about solving the case!
That's the second smartest thing you've said since this trial began, Yui. Congrats.
Oh yeah? Thanks, I know!
Anyways, I believe he's talking about the body's unusually low temperature. There were signs of frostbite all over his body, so he might have died from being frozen to death in that freezer.
Huh? I thought the culprit put him in the freezer to hide the time of death after killing him.
Why do 2 steps when you could reduce them to 1?
I'm sorry. What do you mean by that?
I mean, hypothermia could be... No, it's definitely the cause of death. If he died from hypothermia, the culprit could hide the time of death and not have to get their hands dirty. All they had to do was push him in that freezer. It's killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Then what would be the purpose of them stabbing Shoji? Besides, is there any evidence that his death was not caused by the stabbing?
Yes, in fact. The evidence is me. He was killed by hypothermia, not the knife. It's correct because I said so.
I apologize, but that is not acceptable reasoning.
I don't know, Ayumi. He's a doctor, so he might be right.
Resident, not doctor. Anyways, Izumi will explain.
What?
You heard me. Explain why Shoji died of hypothermia. I know you can do it.
Why are you pushing it onto me? Fine. Whatever.
Good boy.
Got it! There's a thing called liver mortis. It causes blood flow to settle after death, I think.
Yep, you're right. I think.
So, if someone were to bleed after they die, the amount of blood they shed will be minimal to none. If you take a look at the crime scene, you know that the amount of blood is nominal, almost too little for a victim of stabbing. So it's likely that Shoji was stabbed only after his death. This is what you meant when you said the information you told me during the investigation may come in handy. Right, Iriyama?
Bravo!
But what would be the reason for the killer to do that?
Probably because they thought doing so would hide the cause of death?
Yes, and that's why I think the culprit of this case is an amateur at best. With a bit of medical knowledge, you can immediately tell if someone was stabbed before or after their death.
I see.
What do you mean, I see? You sure you can see anything with all that hair covering your eyes? Regardless, that's the reason why you should do the investigation instead of hearing others retell you the details of the case.
Hold on. About the culprit wanting to hide the cause of death. Are you sure that was their only intention?
I can't think of any other reason.
I think there might be another motive for doing that.
What is it, Jinta?
I said I'm thinking, but I'll get to it eventually.
I hope that you get it.
Wait! But how did the killer even manage to get him into that fridge in the first place? I doubt you could just throw and lock someone inside a walk-in freezer that easily. Like, that door is so heavy. There's no way a tiny little girl like me can open it.
Are you just saying that to prove to everyone you couldn't have done it?
Well, yes.
In that case, a tiny little girl like me also cannot open it. So I'm not the killer either.
None of us ever said you two were.
Although, I think what Yui said is a cause for concern. Should we discuss that then? How did Shoji end up getting locked inside that fridge?
Could he have been poisoned?
No.
Nah, that killer totally put a curse on him.
No.
Was he kidnapped and enslaved?
No.
The killer probably beat the shit out of him.
If it wasn't magic, then Shoji was put inside the freezer after he was killed.
Yui, we literally just discussed that.
How did Shoji end up getting locked inside that fridge?
Could he...
No.
Nah.
No.
Was he...
No.
The killer probably beat the shit.
I agree with that. Hikari's right. Kind of.
Ha! Of course I am.
They didn't beat the shit out of him, but there was a black eye on his face. Iriyama concluded that he was most likely punched.
In the face!
Of course, he wasn't completely knocked out, but one punch should be enough to knock him over.
Therefore, the freezer must have been opened beforehand, yes? All the culprit had to do was throw a punch, and Shoji would fall into the freezer.
Yes, correct.
Hold on. Even if that's the case, that walk-in freezer has a metal door. Wouldn't it take some strength to close it? If I was Shoji, I would have been able to easily get up and retaliate.
I got it! What Hoshino said is only partially true.
What do you mean?
Yes, that metal door is difficult to open due to its weight, but it's the opposite when you try to close it. Due to the door's magnetic mechanism, you can practically close it with a push of a finger, and the door will immediately seal shut.
Also, if Shoji did manage to get on his feet, he wouldn't be able to push the door open, since the door's a lot heavier upon opening.
Right. The floor in the freezer is also slippery. If the culprit used their full strength to close the freezer door, in addition to the magnetic mechanism, Shoji wouldn't have a chance to block it from closing, even with his foot.
Yeah, and I'm sure his foot would look really damaged if he attempted that.
Then Shoji was stuck inside that fridge since last night? But it's so cold and dark inside there.
Yeah. That's a horrible damn way to go.
Don't tell me! We were in the same room as a dead body?
Of course we were in the same room with this corpse, since, we actually put effort into investigating.
I mean, when he was lying dead in the freezer, and I was dissing that disgusting seafood ramen! And shut the hell up, Jita! I told you I'd be cursed if I looked at a dead body!
Hold on, did none of the people who went to the dining hall check the fridge? Weren't you all making breakfast? Oh, yeah. If we opened the freezer, we would have found Shoji's body. But we all had ramen since I couldn't cook today. I guess that's why no one checked the freezer?
You idiots! It doesn't matter if we open that refrigerator. It's a damn walk-in freezer. Even an idiot knows not to hide a body there. The perpetrator's plan would be ruined if someone saw the body. They must have hidden it somewhere else.
I got it! I think they may have hidden his body inside the base cabinet next to the dining hall door. The evidence is in the puddle of water. There were no pipes exposed, so the water couldn't have come from a leak. That leads me to believe that his frozen body may have melted while lying in that cabinet. The killer probably waited until it was near daytime to ensure Shoji's death, so they can finally pull him out of the freezer and hide him there. Major props towards Hanako for pointing this out, actually.
Oh, I know that one. There's nothing in that cabinet.
Exactly. That's why the culprit chose it. Since we all knew there was nothing inside, we'd have no reason to open it. And it's also right next to the door, making it convenient for the culprit to pull Shoji out and block the door with his body. In other words, it's the most obvious spots that are the best hiding spots.
Yay! Good job, everyone! We're close to finding the evil wolf!
No, we're not. Well, actually, it's more like you all aren't.
Pardon me?
Seriously, it's unimaginable how slow all of you are with such an easy murder case. I agree with Iriyama. The killer this time is a real amateur. They're so bad at their job, it's almost laughable how pathetic their entire plan is.
Are you saying that you have already identified the perpetrator?
Yeah, I have figured out the killer's identity.
I also know who did it. Well, for us smart people, we all obviously do.
Can you tell us?
No, You all wouldn't understand since you're so far behind in this case. Besides, I can't be the only person carrying all the work around here. If you want the answer, then go think for yourself.
And why are you still using they if you already know the murderer's identity?
We don't want any spoilers now, do we? And like I said, work for the answers yourself. I'm not your personal search engine.
This gremlin.
Whatever. Sure. Then why don't we talk about who might have killed Shoji?
Indeed. But how should we begin that discussion?
Why don't we start with identifying everyone who has an alibi? I think that's the easiest way to solve this problem. If we can figure out everyone's alibi, we can solve this case.
Raise your hand if you have an alibi!
I'm certain everyone who was inside the dining hall at the time is excluded from the suspect list.
That's true if you go by Yui's theory.
Then does that mean everyone who wasn't at the dining hall could be the killer? Then I could be the killer!
Oh my god.
If we can figure out everyone's alibi.
Raise your hand if you have an alibi!
I'm certain is excluded.
That's true.
Then does that mean everyone who wasn't...
No, that's wrong! No, you have a pretty tight alibi, Sawa.
Really? Yay!
You're in Noriko's room with the others from last night until you were awakened this morning by the body discovery announcement, right?
Ugh! Finally! At least someone has a brain. Yes. Me, Sawa, Hayasaki, Amamiya, and Ayumi were together in my room the whole time. So you can exclude us from your suspect list.
Wait. I suck at math, but isn't that 14 people already with an alibi? 9 people in the dining hall, 5 in Katsuragi's room. That equals 14. I counted with both my fingers and toes, so I'm sure that's correct.
So, excluding Shoji, does that mean...
It means Ichinose Shion is the fucking killer. Once again.
What? What kind of plot is this? It's so cliche! Can you even call it a twist?
I mean, who else would be fucked up enough to kill someone other than that crackhead bitch?
Is this true, Shion?
I knew this would happen.
I suppose this is only natural when you haven't considered the details of how the culprit committed the crime.
Actually, Shion's right. We can't just conclude her as the culprit with this small amount of evidence.
What? But she's the only one without an alibi.
Listen to me, Noriko. I know that on the surface, it seems like only Shion could have been the culprit. But I think there are more possible scenarios that should be explored.
Izumi's right. I don't think that's how the story went.
Oh? Then how do you suggest the culprit would have committed the murder then?
Well, like Izumi said, we have to look at the evidence more thoroughly to reach a conclusion.
Agreed. Even though I am leaning on the Shion culprit theory, I think we should still analyze the crime scene first.
Damn it. What is there even to argue about? Let's just vote and get this over with. This isn't fair to Shoji. It's so damn obvious she's the killer.
Ooh, it looks like everyone's getting into a heated debate. Please remain still at your podium as you're about to enter the Scrum Debate Battleground.
Why are we doing this? Ichinose Shion's the only one without an—
This one's mine! Our alibi can't be confirmed if we haven't figured out the culprit's method of murder.
Were there any more mysteries to be solved, though?
Nishino! What about the mystery of who poisoned me and Ayumi's noodle cups?
The explanation regarding the steps the culprit took seems perfectly coherent.
And those steps may turn out wrong once we figure out why the killer needed to initiate the blackout.
Neither we 5 nor the 9 people in the dining hall could have been the culprit. That leaves Miss Shion, yes?
Hanukkah. If Shoji died at night, then one of the people in the dining hall could still be the murderer.
Only Shion could have killed the victim and pulled off that whole show during your breakfast.
Shion may not have killed Shoji, if you consider the possibility of her being an accomplice.
Ain't no way there's 2 killers!
Haru, there are 2 wolves among us, so it's natural to assume that there are 2 killers.
I honestly have no idea why I'm on this side of the debate.
Yui!
Girl, same! I'm just sticking with this side because Haru and Jita are here.
This is our answer!
Everyone, I understand that you suspect Shion, and her being the culprit is not a possibility I can deny. But please, let's not reach a conclusion so early into the trial. If you want to prove that she is the culprit, you must be able to explain every little detail of the case.
Hold on. What is this about an accomplice? This is the first I heard of that.
Oh, that was my idea. The only possible way for Shion to not be the culprit is if she's the accomplice. The actual killer is someone in the dining hall. And Shion was the one who blocked the kitchen door with Shoji's body, and went to knock on the dining hall door this morning.
Yes, there are two wolves, so it didn't make sense to me. Why wouldn't they work together to commit a murder?
Oh shit, I didn't consider that possibility. No, if Shion was an accomplice, then how does the blackout play into this case?
So you agree she's the murderer?
No, I meant Shion has nothing to do with this case.
What? Then why the hell hasn't she been talking this entire time? Are you quiet because you're feeling guilty, Ichinose Shion?
Shion?
I'm sorry. I was thinking. It seems Kishibe already figured out who the true culprit is. I'm sorry that I must rely on you to clear my name. I haven't managed to solve this case yet.
But you must have already had an idea of who the culprit might be, right, Shion?
Well, it's not something I can exactly pinpoint at the moment, but Kishibe's right. I am neither the culprit nor the accomplice of this case.
Oh, great. And you're expecting us to believe that? If you can't come up with a good excuse, then you might as well just admit that you're a murderer.
Y'all, who the fuck could have knocked on the door and placed that letter there if it wasn't you? We were all sitting at the table inside the dining hall when we heard it. None of us could have done it.
Are you sure about that?
Duh, does it look like I'm blind?
What if I told you there's a way for someone to create a knocking sound without ever touching that door?
Like, magically?
No, more like technologically.
I got it.
Are you talking about a voice recorder?
What? Such things exist in this place?
Yup, and it's right here. Have you ever tried this one?
Let me guess. It's from the storage again.
Duh, it's like a one-stop shop over there. Actually, I only obtained this yesterday. There were, like, 3 of them in a box, so I took them all. but I suspect there might have been some missing.
That means the killer must have gotten their hands on that device before you did.
They must be quite rare, since I couldn't find any during my searches in the storage.
Yup, and with this, we can prove that the culprit did not need to walk up to the door and knock on it.
They just need to record themselves knocking on the door with that recorder and then replay it. Good job on finding this out, Shinta.
It's nothing. Moreover, this device allows the user to set the exact time they want the recording to be played, almost like an alarm clock. So they could create that knocking noise right at the door without even going a centimeter near it.
Are you suggesting the perpetrator might have hidden that device near the door?
Of course, the door is where the knocking came from.
You do know you need evidence to back this claim up, right? Did you find a recording device where you said it may have been hidden?
No.
Then there's no proof that device was used, yes?
I got it! There is evidence for Kishibe's claim. I found this after the blackout while searching for evidence in the dining hall. I believe this piece broke off from the recorder hidden at the entrance.
Oh, look! The material matches with that recorder!
Hold on. How did that piece even break off in the first place?
I think I might have an idea.
If you get lost, shout out and I'll yell back.
I think I stepped on something! Mori? Is it a rat?
No, it's like hard.
That's probably someone's foot. Now that I think about it, no one complained about their feet being stepped on. So that hard thing Hikari stepped on was probably the recording device. And that is how the piece of plastic broke off.
Wait. So that wasn't your foot?
No, that was just my guess. If it was my foot, I would have made you apologize.
But I don't remember seeing any recording machines at the entrance hall. None of us did. How do we know the killer actually used that device?
Well, the culprit hid it somewhere obscure near the entrance.
Huh? Where?
I got it! They probably hid it behind the potted plant at the entrance, specifically on the left side. If you remember, Haru commanded all of us to move along the wall on the left side during the blackout. And if Hikari stepped on the device while we were moving along, it could only mean that the device was placed behind the left potted plant.
Is that really possible? How did you manage to step behind a potted plant?
How the heck should I know? It was chaotic, alright? My arms and legs were all over the place.
Yes, I think that's definitely possible. Because what else could Hikari have stepped on, if not that voice recorder?
I suppose you're right.
Great! So now we can prove Shion's innocence, right? Because if she were the culprit or accomplice, she could have just knocked on the door. There was no reason for the culprit to set a recording device unless they couldn't physically do it themselves.
Excuse me, but I was wondering about that envelope that you all recovered. I was not there at the dining hall, of course, but how did no one notice that letter?
Oh yeah! Why didn't we see that thing?
Yes. If you are suggesting that the letter was also placed there by the culprit beforehand, I would expect at least one person to have seen it prior to the knocking.
That's strange. Did all of us just miss that letter?
The letter was placed at the side entrance. Isn't that right? I was one of the first people to arrive, and I recall that everyone entered through the main entrance. Hence, no one could have noticed the envelope.
Yeah, and the letter was red too. It blended in with the carpet, so even if someone did see it, it'd be hard to notice from afar.
But there were 9 of you. How likely would it be for everyone to go through the main entrance?
Now that I think about it, has anyone ever used the side entrance? Because I'm sure that I go through the main entrance every time.
I don't remember, but probably the same.
Me too. But why is that? Doesn't it seem kind of impossible?
Well, I'm sure there must be an explanation.
I got it! It's because the elevator is broken.
What? How does the elevator even relate to the dining hall?
You see, if the elevator was working, there would definitely be people entering the dining hall using the side entrance. Since the distance towards both entrances is quite similar. But because we had to take the stairs, and the only side open at the time was on the left, our minds would subconsciously move us towards the door with the closest distance, and that would be the main entrance.
Oh, that makes sense! I for real thought the culprit used some kind of mind games or a trickery on us!
Technically, the culprit did caught wind of this. And that's why they placed the letter in front of the side entrance to make sure no one would see it.
Oh, yes! I understand now. Thank you for that explanation.
By the way, how did you even get down to the first floor with the elevator broken, Ayumi?
Oh! Ryo carried me on his back down the stairs while Mr. Hayasaki lugged my wheelchair. Of course, I could just go down the stairs by myself. Albeit it would take quite a while, but a little help is something I would not mind.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just curious.
Alright. From our preceding discussions, it seems that Mr. Kishibe has already solved the case. So, will you please allow us to know the identity of the culprit? Yes?
This may be unrelated, but something's been bothering me for a while now.
Please tell us, Nishino.
Well, Yui and Kishibe went to collect everyone, right? From what I've heard, the people who were in Katsuragi's room didn't hear the knocking. But what about Shion? Why didn't you guys bring her with you?
What? I've never heard of this.
Huh?
Ooh, about that. Obviously, Jinta and I decided we didn't want her around, so we didn't come knocking on her door.
Well, the same went for Shoji.
Wait, but what about you, Nishino? And you 5 who were in Katsuragi's room? You guys didn't respond at all when we got to your rooms.
Oh. Well, I was probably taking a shower after I woke up at the time, so I didn't hear you.
Did you really knock on Katsuragi's room door? Because I am sure that it did not hear you.
Of course I did. I didn't get any responses, so I just gave up.
Well, we played cards till, 4 in the morning. We were so tired. We were practically out cold.
Yeah, I was so sleepy. Even that announcement couldn't wake me up.
Yeah, so you can't blame us for being late.
We're not blaming anyone, Katsuragi. We understand, no pressure.
I want to go back to bed.
I want to ask one last thing. Yui and Kishibe, which one of you thought of the idea to not invite Shion?
It was Jinta.
So that's it.
Huh?
Here's the thing. Sure, the culprit placed the recording device to simulate the knocking noises. But blocking the door to the kitchen with the body is impossible to achieve by someone inside the dining hall. Unless an accomplice exists.
I'm getting to that.
Let's review all the facts we've gathered thus far. The culprit is one of the 9 people in the dining hall because the murder occurred during nighttime. The culprit's accomplice is Shion. They have been trying to prove her innocence throughout this trial in multiple ways. The culprit must be someone who had prior knowledge of the recording devices. And the culprit is the only person to separate from the group during the blackout. So tell me, who is the culprit?
I got it! Are you saying Kishibe did it?
Isn't it obvious? No one else could have been the culprit. Kishibe Jinta.
I'm the killer! Oh no! I've been caught!
Asmia, shut your bitch ass up and go fuck yourself. Use your brain for once, yeah?
Right! It can't be Jinta!
No. I'm certain that it's you, Kishibe.
Is that so?
Yes. You are the culprit. There's no other explanation.
That's rather bold of you to accuse me of being the killer. Hayasaki, please give me your evidence, your theories, reasoning, hypotheses, analysis, whatever. Please give them all to me. Because I'll rip every single shred of your logic apart!
Everyone's fighting.
I still think it's a bit early to conclude Kishibe's the killer.
How so?
Well, your reasoning feels like hypothesis rather than concrete evidence. So, we should probably take a step back and...
I'll take it from here. My reasonings aren't just hypothesis, Izumi. I have evidence to back them up. I'll show you. Please, listen carefully. Since Ichinose Shion is the accomplice, one of the 9 people in the dining hall has to be the killer. The culprit set up the letter and the voice recorder beforehand. So all Shion needed to do was lock the kitchen door with the body. This is only possible if the culprit had prior knowledge of the recording devices.
Well, a lot of people had prior knowledge of those recording devices. So, it's like Jinta said, our theory doesn't explain the blackout.
The culprit timed the blackout beforehand via the monitor in the breaker room, so that after the letter is found, the blackout would occur. As the final step, he went to the breaker room and used the monitor, because that's the only way the light could be turned on. There's a reason behind Kishibe's separation from the group during that time. The culprit timed the blackout beforehand via the monitor in the breaker room, so that after the letter is found, the blackout would occur. As the final step, he went to the breaker room and used the monitor, because that's the only way the light could be turned on.
I'll cut through those words.
Wait, Hayasaki. While it is true that the monitors can control the lights, there was only historical data of it being used to turn them off. In other words, the monitors was used to initiate the blackout, not end it.
Then, how did the blackout end?
There was an emergency remote that could only be used to turn on the lights in the break room. However, it was missing during the investigation, meaning the culprit most likely had it.
And how are you so sure it was not Kishibe who had it?
Are you not listening to yourself right now? Are you that much of a fucking idiot? You literally argued that I went to the breaking room during the blackout to turn on the light, and now you're saying I have that remote? Why the fuck would I need to go to the breaking room to activate the lights if I could just activate it remotely?
Does that matter?
What?
You're a hacker, aren't you? Only someone with computer knowledge like you could have set up that blackout schedule on the monitor.
Dude, you only need to press like 3 buttons to schedule a light off. It's easier than setting an alarm on your phone. I'm not even kidding.
I can vouch for Jinta here. I checked out the monitor during the investigation, and the controls did seem pretty straightforward.
That doesn't matter.
What?
You're the only one with knowledge regarding recording devices. No one else could have been the killer.
Huh? But I also know about them. But besides, Jinta's voice recorder was fully intact. It can't be the same one that Kari K stepped on.
Don't you remember what he said? There were like 3 of them in a box, so I took them all. If the one he used to recreate the knocking noise was shattered, he could have just gotten a new one and shown us that.
What? I said I only discovered their existence yesterday! Meaning, if we exclude the first day, the culprit had a whole day to get their hands on one of those voice recorders.
Do you have any evidence that one of them was taken?
Dude, the storage is a fucking public space. It's communal. No one has the time or effort to keep an eye on everyone who goes in and out of that room. Anyone can take whatever they want, and nobody would know a thing. If I was the killer, why the fuck would I even bring up the voice recorders into this discussion in the first place? Any culprit with a brain wouldn't be carrying this pathetic trial like I am right now. Can't gut your tongue? I thought so. Idiots like you should stay quiet and let the adults do the talking. Next time, if you want to frame someone, don't try it on me. I'll tear you from limb to limb.
I think he had enough, Jinta.
Yes! Please stop fighting, Kishibe. Yamani, if we keep arguing like this, we can't catch the evil wolf. Let's all take a deep breath and clear all the negative feelings out, so we can take on the wolves together.
Sure then. Well said, Hifumi.
Hayasaki, when Kishibe said something about not getting Shion to the dining hall earlier, how did you pinpoint Kishibe being the culprit just from that information?
Firstly, this case is impossible to deduce unless Ichinose Shion is involved. Obviously, as she's his accomplice, he had to find a reason not to have Shion join breakfast. We don't want her here because we hate her. Seems like the perfect excuse. For instance, if they asked Shion to come to the dining hall, yet she refused, wouldn't that make her suspicious? So if Yui and Kishibe never invited her in the first place, Shion could use the excuse of, I was sleeping in my room and had no idea.
Okay, I'm gonna let you finish. But you're a fucking idiot, so would you kindly shut the fuck up?
You two are fighting again, and I thought my mediator talk worked.
Do you have evidence to prove that I'm wrong?
Did you forget Yui was the one who told you all that we didn't invite Shion because we didn't want her around, and it wasn't even brought up until a few minutes ago. If I wanted to clear Shion of suspicion by that method, I would have done it at the beginning of this trial. No, I would have done it since this morning, but I didn't. So as you can see, that was not my intention. I defended Shion because I know she has no involvement in this case. I defended her with facts and logic. You, on the other hand, pull reasons out of your ass to accuse me as the killer!
What makes you so different?
What makes my theory different is that it encompasses the logic behind the existence of the blackout, which you did not explain.
You mean, why did the culprit have to cause the blackout?
Obviously, because after Shion took care of the body in the kitchen, she must escape to the hallway through the garden. But because the door from the kitchen to the hallway was wide open since you all were reading that letter, Shion wouldn't be able to get past the garden without you noticing her, hence needing the blackout to hide her presence.
Are you fucking serious right now? The more you talk, the more you're convincing me that you're more brain dead than Yui!
Hey, I'm not brain dead!
All you do is make insults, yet you can't even explain your own arguments.
Then shut the fuck up and listen to me, why don't you? If Shion faces your aforementioned problem, there's a very simple way to solve it without having to cause the blackouts. All she needs to do is block the door with the body, then knock on the dining hall door. She would have had more than enough time to run out of our sight if she had done that.
She can't do that because the voice recorder that you mentioned went off before she could escape.
Then tell me, what's the purpose of the culprit setting up the voice recorder? Assuming Shion is involved, why would the culprit use such a complicated method to create the knocking noises when it only causes them more trouble? They could just have Shion knock on the door and run away. Then neither a voice recorder nor a blackout would be necessary. What? Can't cut your tongue? Might as well just admit defeat, don't you think? You'll never win a debate against Kishibe Chinta.
I'm sorry, but can we please end this meaningless debate? Kishibe is not the culprit. I know that for sure. And Shion is not an accomplice. This case has only one perpetrator. That is a fact.
Finally, someone with a functioning brain!
Huh? One person did all of that by themselves? I can't imagine how that would work.
Yeah, how is that possible? Sure, the knocking noises could be made from that device, and the letter could be set up beforehand. But what about the body? How did they block the door?
Yes, will you please explain it to us then, Miss Hanako?
Someone in the dining hall was the sole culprit of this case.
Huh? Huh?
It's exactly that. One of the people in the dining hall murdered Shoji and blocked the kitchen door with his body.
What? Have you got insane, girl?
Izumi being the last person to get out of the kitchen and join all of us in the dining hall. But he went through the dining hall door. If the killer blocked that door with Shoji's dead body, they would have had to exit the kitchen through the garden door. Did the killer use magic to do that then?
Oh, did any of y'all see someone go to the kitchen and drag that man's dead body out to block the door? Because I for sure did not.
Was it that you didn't see? Or that you couldn't?
What?
Oh, I get it. So you've solved the mystery.
I don't get it. All of us is making my head spin round and round again.
What I meant is, the killer utilized the blackout to drag Shoji's body out of the cabinet to block the door. Hence, none of us could have witnessed it happening.
So you're saying that during the blackout, the culprit ran to the garden ahead of us? Doesn't that sound unrealistic? How would they have navigated through the dark without any light? It took us a long time to get to the garden, and the lights turned on just a minute after that.
Yeah, there's no way the killer could have done that in such a short amount of time. Isn't it impossible for the 9 of us to have entered the kitchen during the blackout? It's like one way is blocked and the other way is impossible to reach.
Oh my god, are you two even listening to yourselves right now?
Oh, right. I forgot. The body was already blocking the door before the blackout occurred, wasn't it? Are you saying the culprit used the blackout to block the door with the body? Wasn't that already done by then?
Right? It's literally a locked room mystery!
Yes, you could say that it is a locked room mystery. Because in detective fiction, locked rooms are never actually locked to begin with. It's all a gimmick established by the culprit.
Hold on a second.
What is it?
Shouldn't we discuss this a bit more? Concluding who the culprit right now is...
Then should we just vote you off now?
Huh?
Ichinose Shion, you have already figured out the truth, haven't you? But must I remind you that you are still one of the prime suspects in this case? So if you wish for us to not pursue this person, would you rather be executed in their stead? You know in your heart you want to save them, but you're too much of a coward to risk your own life.
Okay. Then, if it's not Shion, then who's the killer? When you said the door wasn't locked earlier, what did you mean by that?
It's simple, really. Think of it this way. A locked room culprit is like a magician setting up a trick for his audience to create a false impression, a misconception. The question is, how do the 9 of us in the dining hall? Who was the magician who constructed this locked room illusion?
What are you?
I got it!
If what Hanako's saying is true, then... Nishino, you're the culprit.
Huh?
What? I'm the culprit? Huh?
Going by the theory that Shion is neither the culprit nor the accomplice, the only person who could have pulled this off is you, Nishino.
Bingo!
Hold on, guys! How is it possible that I'm the killer? We were all in that room together, right? How could I have blocked the kitchen door with Shoji's body?
It's like Hanako said. You could have done it during the blackout. That way, no one would have been able to witness your crime.
What? Are you joking, Izumi? That door was blocked before the blackout, remember?
But how can you prove that it was blocked before the blackout? When there was only one person who checked on the door to the kitchen initially. And that person was you, Nishino.
Hold on, that's true. Only Nishino attempted to open it.
Huh? How does that make him the killer? I don't get it!
Other than Nishino, did anyone else try to open that door after we received the letter?
I don't think so. I guess before any of us could check, the blackout already happened.
Where are you getting at, Izumi?
What I'm saying is, how can we confirm what Nishino said about the door being blocked was not a lie?
Seriously? Hey, I wasn't lying. That door really was blocked.
Wait! How can you prove that what Nishino said was a lie, huh? We have all this evidence stacked up against Shion already! The case makes sense when you consider her as the culprit! But Nishino? Aside from your theory that he lied about the door being blocked, there's no way you can explain how he pulled the whole thing off! Besides, there's no way Nishino would kill someone! Especially not Shoji! You've seen it for yourself, right, Izumi? Nishino, he's...
No, you're wrong.
Huh?
There are a few events that would make no sense if Shion were the culprit. For example, why did Shion need to cause the blackout? Or why would Shion need to set up the voice recorder or the monitor timer when none of them were necessary for her to act out the events in the case?
Well, that's because...
Yeah, Yui's right! How could I have killed Shoji?
Please don't talk. We do not need to hear your excuses. If you wish, I could explain the entire case from the beginning and prove you're the culprit. So please don't try justifying with me. It's pointless. It would only waste everyone's time. At this point, I'm confident that I can refute any reasoning you dare to throw at me.
That's not fair.
Huh?
You dare accuse someone of murder, yet you silence them the moment they try to defend themselves? Who gave you the right to do that?
Oh? It seems like the little sheep still doesn't understand the position she's in. Do you think just because my reasoning defends you from a guilty verdict means you're safe to just say whatever you want? How naive. Must I remind you that there are no punishments for voting the wrong culprit? I'll gladly vote you off right now if you don't shut up and behave yourself, murderer.
You're right.
What's that?
I am a coward. The kind of person who would betray anyone just to survive. But I don't want to be that person anymore. So, even if I have to risk my life, even if you tell me 1,000,000 times you want me dead, for everything Nishino has done for me. I'd rather lose my life than continue living knowing I did nothing to help him back.
Shion?
There are still things that are left unexplained. If you can't solve these mysteries, you can't conclude that he's the culprit.
Yeah, I agree with her. I don't think Nishino is the kind of person to kill someone. Shouldn't we at least give him a chance to explain himself?
Actually, I also want a detailed explanation on how you guys reached the conclusion of Nishino being the culprit.
I believe what Miss Hanako was trying to suggest is that Mr. Nishino lied about the door being blocked after you all received that letter.
Yes. Then, once the blackout occurred, he ventured back into the kitchen while everyone else was making their way towards the garden. From that point, he placed the body in front of the door, therefore creating the illusion that it was blocked before the blackout.
But how could he have navigated his route while blind? It took us more than 5 minutes to walk from the dining hall to the garden in the dark.
I got it! No, there is a way Nishino could have navigated in the dark.
How so?
It could have moved along the walls. Wasn't that the same technique we all used to find our way to the garden?
Oh, that's right.
We were all standing in front of the side entrance when you discovered that letter. If you take a look at the layout of the dining hall, you can see that the door to the kitchen was directly facing us. Meaning, all he had to do was turn left and go straight. If he had lost his way, he could always move along the walls using his right hand.
In addition, remember when Izumi mentioned that the culprit hid the recording machine behind the potted plant on the left? I didn't think much of it at first, but there was a deeper reason for this. It was so that the culprit could easily retrieve the device.
So, putting the device in the left potted plant instead of the right one made it more convenient for him.
Yes. All he had to do was to pick it up from behind the plant when the blackout occurred. Then follow along the walls with his right hand until he reaches the kitchen door. Open it, go inside, drag Shoji's body out of the cabinet, lock the door. Exit through the garden, meet up with us, then turn on the lights. This would all be possible if the culprit's previous statement about the locked door was a lie.
This pretty much proved that only Nishino could have committed the crime. He was able to retrieve the recording device and enter the kitchen during the blackout. Then all he had to do was block the door with Shoji's body, and leave the kitchen. I wouldn't doubt if he had practiced this a few times beforehand, just by closing his eyes.
Then, once in the kitchen, the only door he could have used was the one to the garden. It was pitch black in there at the time, so Nishino could have been hiding there for as long as he wanted, and we wouldn't know a thing.
Right! Like, he probably controlled the lights or something. It can't be a coincidence that the lights turned on a few seconds after we got to the garden.
That's right. It's not a coincidence at all.
Pull the airball! I'm correct?
Remember what I said about the missing remote in the breaker room that could turn on the lights with a click of a button? Nishino had it. He was waiting in the garden, in the dark, for us to arrive. Then, once he heard the doors open, he turned on the lights with that remote, and boom! We all saw him in the garden at that point.
Making us believe that Nishino is with us through the whole ordeal of moving from the dining hall to the garden.
But he wasn't with us at all. He was in the kitchen, committing his crimes.
A childish trick if you ask me.
Well, I think that's the conclusion. The only person who could have pulled this off is Nishino.
I've heard enough from you!
There are holes in your argument, Izumi. I suggest you recheck your reasoning.
How so?
There are a few discrepancies that would not make sense, assuming Nishino is the culprit.
Do you have an argument for that?
Of course. I'll explain it to you. Nishino isn't the culprit. I have the evidence to prove that. Anybody could have murdered Shoji, hid his body, wrote that letter, and blocked the door. Nishino lying about the door being blocked? That's not evidence. That's just your theory.
Shion, why are you doing this? If you're saying Nishino didn't lie, then that means someone must have put Shoji's body there before the blackout. And no one else could have done it, if not you. If you're defending him with that reasoning, then it's no different than admitting you're the killer.
I'm not the killer, but neither is Nishino. There has to be some sort of trick the actual killer used. We have to look at other possibilities, and that's why I need to first prove his innocence. Sure, you proved that we could move in the dark by going along the walls. But that's about it, isn't it? What about while in the kitchen? Getting the body out of the cabinet, using it to block the door, and getting it to the garden. It's all impossible to do in the dark.
Cut through those words.
It's not impossible.
What do you mean?
Take a look at this.
What the hell is that? Oh, that's a flashlight!
Kakeru, where did you get this?
While I was searching around the kitchen during the investigation, I found this in the trash can.
That does seem like a peculiar spot for a flashlight to be in, especially considering its appearance is that of a...
Exactly. There's no reason for anyone to dispose of a perfectly fine flashlight. Unless that person is, for some reason, trying to hide it.
So here's what you're saying. Nishino used this flashlight while he was inside the kitchen, moving the body. Then, after the deed was done, he hid the flashlight in the trash can and left for the garden.
Yes, I believe that is the case.
Just because you found a flashlight inside the trash can doesn't mean Nishino used it. Where could he have gotten it? There were obviously no flashlights in the kitchen. You were all there in the morning. You should know!
He got it from the storage. And he could have had the flashlight on him the entire time.
You don't have evidence for that! What if someone planted that flashlight inside the trash can? Has evidence to frame him?
What?
Shion. It's okay. You can stop.
What?
If you keep on fighting for me like this, it'll only hurt you more in the end.
Nishino, don't give up! You can fight for others. You fought for me. So why can't you fight for yourself? You know you're not the killer, Nishino. So prove them wrong. Please.
You're right. I didn't kill him.
I guess what they say is true. Birds of a feather do flock together. Of course, only a murderer would defend another of their kind. This trial will never end if you two continue this charade. Let's just stop this and admit you're the culprit, Nishino. You're hopelessly fighting a battle where the results have already been predetermined.
I did not kill Shoji, and I will continue to fight until all of you believe that. Kami Hanako, your deduction is wrong, and I will not back down until you admit that!
Oh, my deduction is wrong. Oh, you poor, naive child. If you're so willing to continue, then please allow me to deliver the final nail into your coffin.
Do it then. I dare you. I'm not the killer, so I will not back down until my name is clear.
Very well then. Everyone, there's one last thing I want you all to reconsider.
Huh? What is it, Hanako?
Remember the crime scene. Visualize the image of how it looked inside your mind. There's one particularly strange phenomenon that we weren't able to explain yet, correct? Everyone, try to recall the strange phenomenon at the crime scene.
Phenomenon? What are you talking about?
She did say it was a part of the crime scene. So maybe the body?
Are you saying there's more to the cause of death?
Think of every element that stood out at the crime scene.
Oh, now that you mention it. Some changes were made to the first aid kit.
Did someone get hurt?
Yes, actually. Someone was killed. There has to be something else at the scene.
I guess there's one thing that kinda creeped me out.
Did you see a ghost, Haru?
No. I'm talking about the condition of the fridge.
You mean like how its temperature is able to get that cold?
That's irrelevant.
I don't think it's normal for walk-in freezers to kill someone in such a short time span.
It is possible, actually. There's no way that's a regular industrial freezer. It's designed precisely with the intention to kill in mind.
Agreed. That freezer feels like it should be around Negative 80 degrees Celsius? Well, that's just an approximation.
Wait, what about the thing with the moon not being out? That's a strange phenomenon. Because of that, we couldn't see Nishino when we got to the garden.
None of this has anything to do with me being the killer!
Everyone, try to recall the strange phenomenon at the crime scene.
Phenomenon! She did say. So.
Are you saying this?
Think of every.
Oh, now that you. Some change.
Did someone get.
Yes, actually.
I guess there's one.
Did you see a ghost, Haru?
No.
I agree with that.
Wait, hold on. The freezer door. Do you all remember the condition it was in?
Yes, I recall there were multiple scratch marks on it. Was it Shoji who made those marks?
Since he was pushed into the freezer alive, he was probably trying to find a way to get out of there. Oh, what an awful thought.
No, he should have known that escaping the freezer would be impossible. But hypothermia can give humans mental confusion, so I assume those scratches on the door were only made to release mental frustrations rather than as an attempt to escape.
But there's no way he used his nails to claw at that metal door, right? Thinking about it is making my nails hurt.
Well, I doubt nails alone could be damaging enough to cause those marks.
Oh? And how did he do it?
I got it! He probably used the knife.
The knife?
You mean the one that the culprit used to stab him?
Well, yeah.
Wait, how are you so sure those marks are caused by a knife? Can it be like something else? Like, I don't know, frozen chicken? Those are pretty tough.
Actually, I'm confident that only a knife could have caused those marks. Not just any knife, in fact. I believe it's the same one that the culprit used to stab Shoji. I got it! The condition the knife was found in is proof that it was used to cause those scratch marks.
Can you be specific?
Yes. If you were at the scene, do you remember how the knife looked when Yama pulled it out of the victim? It was covered with bumps all over its blade, and the overall condition of the knife was rather poor.
Ah, right. That's the one thing we weren't able to explain yet.
So, I believe Shoji had the knife while he was in the freezer, and used it to scrape the metal door.
I can imagine the sounds in my head. I don't like that.
Wait, isn't that a contradiction? If Shoji had the knife with him all along, wouldn't that acquit me of being the killer?
Huh?
I must agree with Mr. Nishino. Shoji having access to the knife does not seem to make a lot of sense, does it? Yes, if the knife was in the freezer with Shoji after he passed, the culprit could have just taken it and stabbed his corpse. However, if Shoji had a knife with him all along, why did he not use that to fight the culprit?
Yeah, good question. If he had the knife, he could just attack that killer. Shoji's a strong-looking guy. I doubt he'd be done that easily.
And how exactly are you going to prove that the killer wasn't attacked?
What? So you mean an altercation occurred between the victim and the culprit?
It's a ludicrous line of reasoning. Take a look around you. Do you see a single person with a wound on their body?
True. If someone were stabbed, we would have 2 dead bodies right now.
Now don't jinx it! I don't think I can handle having to go through 2 trials in a row.
Sorry for butting in, but I wish to clarify that according to the rules, you would only need to go through 1 trial if 2 murders occur in the same round.
Well, I suppose that helps.
Back to the main topic. I hope you understand that just because you're stabbed by a knife does not necessarily mean that you will die. As long as the knife doesn't hit any of your vital organs, chances are you'll survive with some medical help.
Clearly, Nishino doesn't look like he was attacked at all, and that goes for the rest of us.
Are you sure about that?
Well, no one seems to be bandaged up, so...
I got it! Iriyama, remember what you told me?
Yeah, you're talking about that, right?
Exactly. Would you please tell everyone, Iriyama?
This morning, when I was in the dining hall, I saw Izumi gulp down an entire bowl of ramen in exactly 5 seconds. And he looked like a dinosaur doing so.
Whoa, is that true?
That's damn impressive, if you ask me.
That's not what I meant.
Oh? I thought you were talking about that.
Stop joking around. This is serious.
Whoa, alright, I'm sorry.
Anyways, Iriyama told me that the first aid kit in the kitchen was tampered with. Even though it looks the same as it is every other day, its contents were actually used and were replaced with the same ones found in the infirmary.
Yeah, let me explain.
Better not joke around this time.
Promise. Anywho, the moment I walked into the kitchen earlier today, I was hit with a smell of iodine, which could have only originated from the povidone iodine bottle. You know, the yellow bottle with the red blood-like liquid, stuff doctors use to treat wounds.
What? How does that tie into me being the killer?
Just wait, will you? Kazuya, what happened next?
Well, the yellow bottle in the medkit was brand new. It was completely sealed shut. So how could we smell the iodine if it was never opened?
Yeah. In addition, when Iriyama and I met up in the infirmary, we found another povidone iodine bottle that was used halfway. So we assumed that this bottle initially belonged to the kitchen's first aid kit. And whoever used this bottle must have swapped it with the one in the infirmary.
I see. So a physical confrontation did occur. That means Shoji grabbed that knife in self-defense and attacked the culprit. But he was pushed into the freezer before he could have done anything.
That is probably the case.
I'm sorry, but how exactly does this tie into Mr. Nishino being the culprit? It does not seem like he has any injuries on his body, yes?
Does that even matter? Let's just all vote already. I'm getting sick of being here.
Well, we should at least let Nishino speak before we make our decision. Our votes will be going towards someone's execution after all. We should still remember to be responsible, even if the person we're voting for is a murderer.
Well, do you have any last words? Hello?
Yeah. I'm not the culprit.
This again.
It's just like Ayumi said. I don't have a single wound on my body. I'm not sure how you all came to the conclusion that I lied about the door being blocked without any evidence, so please, reconsider your decision.
Did you not listen to what was said in the past 30 minutes? Evidence points to no one but you being the killer.
You can't conclude that he's the killer if you haven't looked at other possibilities. What about accomplices? What about false evidence? The culprit might have set up some sort of mechanism that caused the door to be momentarily locked.
That's true. We haven't discussed other possible scenarios. If you haven't solved every mystery, then you can't say I'm the killer!
It seems that you still haven't given up yet.
Of course I haven't. I can't give up. Someone else killed Shoji! There's no evidence! Someone else killed Shoji! I don't want to die! I don't want to die! I don't want to die! I didn't lie, I swear! Trust me! There's no evidence! There's no evidence! I don't want to die! There's no evidence! That's not what happened! Someone else killed Shoji! Trust me! Please, just stop! Trust me! Izumi, please! Izumi, please! I don't want to die! Please! I need to go back! Trust me! Someone else killed Shoji! Just stop already! Please, just stop! Please, just stop! Please! I need to go back! Please, just stop! Izumi, please! I don't want to die! Please, just stop! Trust me! Please, just stop! Please, just stop! I don't want to die! Please, just stop! Please! I need to go back! Just stop already! Trust me! Please, just stop! Trust me! Please! I need to go back! Trust me! Please, just stop! Just stop already! Trust me! Please! I need to go back! I would never want to hurt him! He didn't attack! Trust me! I don't want to die! Trust me! Please, just stop! Trust me! Trust me! I don't want to die! I would never want to hurt him! He didn't attack me! Just...
It's over!
No...
Nishino, didn't you say that you had a stomachache earlier this morning? You said it was food poisoning, but you know it's not true, right?
Huh? I really did get food poisoning!
Then Nishino, would you please show us your stomach?
Ryoto, go!
Huh? Wait, hold on!
What? That's...
It's all bandaged up!
Are you alright, Nishino?
So this confirms that you were stabbed by Shoji.
So the stomachache you had wasn't caused by poisoning of any kind, but rather because you were attacked by Shoji.
Shoji... He fought back when you tried to kill him. I can't imagine how afraid Shoji must have felt back then.
If you tried the same thing with me, you'd be glad you're only getting stabbed.
You know damn well you deserve that.
Well then, it confirms Nishino is the culprit. You tried to kill Shoji, and he retaliated with a knife. Those bloody bandages around your stomach should be enough evidence.
That's stupid.
Huh?
You can't conclude that Nishino was stabbed by Shoji just from that alone. Those bandages could have come from a separate incident. Saying he was stabbed just because his stomach is wrapped up is stupid. They were already there even before you came here. Right, Nishino? Nishino?
Shion. It's okay. You can stop now.
What are you talking about? Your life's on the line! No matter what! You can't give up!
Please. You're only hurting yourself fighting for my sake.
Why did you even say you had a stomachache in the first place? Why didn't you just lie?
Well, I thought everyone would have suspected me from the way I walk anyway. So, I thought of that as an excuse to cover up the truth.
It seems like you've admitted to being the perpetrator.
So, Shoji did stab you to defend himself?
Can we all please stop for a second? Why are we so quick to assume that what Shoji did was in self-defense? Yes, we've got all the evidence to explain why Nishino's the culprit. But when have we ever proved that Shoji is truly innocent?
Are you saying it's not Shoji who retaliated to Nishino's attack, but the other way around?
Haru's right. I had my doubts the moment everyone started accusing him. Nishino isn't that kind of person. He wouldn't kill someone for no rhyme or reason. Especially Shoji. They were friends. There's no way I believe Nishino is capable of something like this.
While the evidence shows that no one else could have committed the murder besides him, I still thought to myself, is he really capable of doing such a horrid thing? Even if he was truly a wolf?
Survival is the core motivation for all living beings, after all. It would be blinding to think one would throw away their own life for the sake of morality.
I know that I might just be blinding myself, and I know that the only objective of this trial is to find the culprit, so it's already over from the moment we accomplish that. But for us to stand here and paint him as a cold-blooded murderer who deserves death without figuring out his motivations is wrong. So let's talk a little more, to see whether Nishino is truly at fault.
Why do you want to continue anymore? The answer is clear as day. Let's just vote and move on.
How can you all be so cold towards someone? The person we are voting for is going to be executed. We are voting for someone to die. We are indirectly committing murder. And I know X is at fault for all this, but even so, we should be responsible and give Nishino a final chance to defend his integrity.
Nishino has always been kind to us. All he wanted was for everyone to get along.
Yeah, he cooked every meal for us. He was in the kitchen at 6 a.m. every day, just to prepare breakfast for us. That's not something a cold-blooded murderer would do.
I agree.
And Nishino truly did care for Shoji. It doesn't make sense for him to have killed Shoji. So please, tell me, Nishino, did you do it because you needed to protect yourself?
Actually, from a logical standpoint, this is rather imperative for us to know. Is Nishino fully at fault for the murder? Or did Shoji perhaps try to kill him and Nishino acted in self-defense? This is a very important question.
Why is that?
Don't you all remember what Shoji claimed his role was previously?
He did claim to be the Joker.
Exactly. So if it turns out that Shoji actually meant to kill Nishino, that would mean...
I got it! It would mean Shoji isn't actually the Joker. Because according to the rules, the Joker is not allowed to commit murder. If they did, they would die immediately.
Yep, and I doubt he would be crazy enough to do a whole murder-suicide fiasco if he was actually the Joker.
Then that means the Joker is still alive?
If that's the case, then we need to be even more careful during the voting process.
Hold on. We still haven't discussed whether Shoji attacked Nishino first or vice versa.
How would we be able to prove either one of those statements?
I don't know. You all could just ask him?
Nishino?
Hey, answer us. Who attacked whom first?
What you did to Shoji, was it in self-defense?
It's true. I admit it. I was the one who killed Shoji. But I didn't mean to kill him. I never did. I was attacked by Shoji.
But you were the one who asked him to come to the kitchen, were you not?
Yes. The letter you found in his room, I was the one who wrote it.
Huh? So you actually wanted to exchange roles with him, so he could kill Ichinose Shion?
That's not true! I never wanted Shion to be killed! Everything Shoji said about wanting to kill Shion was a lie!
What's the point of doing that?
Shoji got the Joker role, as you may have known. But Shoji knew, if he was Joker, it would have posed a threat for all of us. He knew that if a murder were to occur, he would be the first to be blamed for it. Everyone would have voted for him. And everyone would be executed. That's why he needed to switch roles, and I agreed to meet up with him to do so.
Huh? Did you actually switch roles with him?
Well... Hey.
Huh? You actually came?
Well, I was the one who brought up the offer. It would be rude of me not to go.
Why? If you take on this role, it's only going to put you in danger.
I'm okay with that, Shoji. If it means that you'd feel safer, there's no reason for me to decline, right?
Why would you risk your life for someone you just met? Am I not just a stranger to you? That doesn't make any sense!
I know it's only been a few days since we've been here. But when I first met you, it feels like I've known you for a long time.
What does that even mean?
I can't really explain it. But I know for a fact that you're a strong person, Shoji. Even though you're annoying at times, and even though you clearly don't think much before you talk, you're still a good person at heart. The kind of person who would never give up fighting to protect those you care about. Everything you've been through, if I were you, I don't think I'd have the strength to endure it all. I know I might not show it, but I do feel scared, and I'm not as strong as people think I am. So, maybe it's because I just wanted to be as brave as you.
Nishino?
But even if you're strong, it doesn't mean you have to fight on your own. That's why I want to be your friend, Shoji. I want to fight in this battle with you. I want you to know that you don't have to go through this alone. So, agreeing to switch roles with you is the least a friend can do, right?
Let's just switch our roles.
Huh? Ah, sure! So, that's what we did. I tapped the screen, and we put both our fingers on it to be scanned. After a few seconds, the machine told us that our swap was successful.
Nishino. Do you want something to eat?
Eh? Why all of a sudden?
Could you help me open that freezer? There's some food I want to make.
Oh, sure. I can help you make something. I know I've already told you, but I really enjoy spending time cooking with you. And so I opened the freezer door like he asked, but when I turned around, I saw... Huh? Shoji, are you crying?
Before I came here, I told myself I wouldn't rely on anybody. Because my emotions have always been my biggest weakness. And being weak was what caused me to lose everything.
Hey, it's okay, Shoji.
You don't get it, Nishino. I joined the show knowing it was a killing game. I came here prepared to commit murder. I told myself it didn't matter who. If I needed to kill, I would. But when I thought about you, I felt weak again.
Huh? Shoji? What are you talking about?
I keep telling myself that no matter how scared I am, no matter how lonely it gets, I have to do this on my own. I cannot allow myself to get attached again. But I guess I'm too much of an idiot to even do that.
Hey, Shoji. Let's just calm down and talk, okay?
Nishino, you chose to switch roles with me. You chose to take on the role of the Joker. But a part of me wish you hadn't done that. Because if the Joker wins, I'll lose everything. And that's why I'll have to kill you.
Huh? Shoji? Why are you...
I really wish we could have been friends. But if only I had never met you, I wouldn't have to torment myself for the rest of my life. So in the end, I'm still just an emotional idiot. I'm sorry, Nishino. Ah!
Shoji. Why? I didn't have time to react. Shoji lunged straight towards me. I'm not sure how I did it, but I managed to dodge him, just enough that the attack didn't become life-threatening.
Please, just give up already.
If you have to fight, I will fight in this battle with you. You don't have to do this alone. So, it's okay, Shoji. You don't have to harden yourself anymore. Everything will be okay. He came back dashing towards me. With that knife, he could have killed me right then and there. But Shoji hesitated. That 1 second of hesitation was enough for my body to react on its own. And I punched him, knocking him over into the freezer. Everything at that point was a blur, but my body started moving on its own, and I closed the door before Shoji had the chance to stand up. My only thought at that time was to cover my wound, so I reached for the first aid kit. Thankfully, it was only a shallow cut, not enough to reach my organs. It took a few hours, but I managed to patch myself up and change clothes. But then, I quickly realized Shoji would die if he stayed in that freezer for too long. And if he dies, I, the Joker, would be executed. So I headed back to the kitchen. As I reached for the handle, I suddenly remembered that Shoji still had the knife with him. And if I were to open this door, if I were to save him, then he could attack me again. But still, even if it was a chance that he could be saved, it was a risk I was willing to take. But when I opened the freezer, Shoji was already...
This is fucking messed up!
Yes. I had no idea.
I cannot believe this!
Hold on. That doesn't make sense. If you'd traded roles of Shoji and you're now the Joker, how are you still alive?
I don't know. It probably means Shoji wasn't the Joker, but with the way he said things, there's no way he was lying.
X, is it possible you intentionally did not punish Nishino after he killed Shoji?
No. If Nishino was the Joker when he killed Shoji, he definitely would have been executed. But he's still alive, so at least when Nishino committed murder, he was not the Joker.
Huh? You're saying I'm not the Joker?
That confirms it. Shoji was probably lying.
There's no way Shoji lied! Maybe he unknowingly switched his roles with someone?
Well, that would present an entirely different set of problems on its own.
Enough said. Nishino isn't the Joker and was the culprit of this case. Seems like we finished our job. Although, I must say, I am rather surprised that you were able to think of this entire plan to cover up the murder.
Well, you're giving me too much credit. The truth is, Shoji was the one who thought of all of this.
What?
After checking on his body, I found a note in his pocket, and a voice recorder. In the note were details on how Shoji was going to kill me, and how he planned to hide my death. So, everything that you witnessed in this trial, everything that I did to Shoji, it was all planned by Shoji himself. And it was supposed to be Shoji standing in this trial right now, not me.
So, Shoji planned his own murder?
Well, he planned Nishino's murder. But who could have known his victim would use his own murder plan against him?
This is too cruel!
Well, this is certainly unexpected.
Fuck! So we had to kill Shoji? From the very start, Nishino had no other choice? This game? And X? Fuck all of you!
Forcing an innocent person to commit murder. How could you?
Hold on. Isn't there something we haven't discussed? Don't you all remember the ramen cup setup this morning? Were you the one who poisoned Ayumi's cup?
Huh? I didn't! I had no idea about the ramen cups. I mean, it was there since last night, but I didn't notice it until I was cleaning up the blood.
He's telling the truth. The poisoned ramen cup was probably an entire separate case on its own, and had nothing to do with this one. So whatever that was about, we have all the time in the world to discuss it later.
Yes, I had no intention of killing you, Ayumi. Please believe me.
It's alright. I believe you. You were not the one who tried to poison me. Thank you for being honest, Mr. Nishino. So then, Nishino is innocent, right? Shoji is the killer. We can vote for Shoji instead?
Ahem! To clarify a little bit, you can only vote for the dead if they're the culprit of the case. Otherwise, if you still decide to vote for them despite them not being the culprit, it would be the same as voting for the Joker, except the Joker dies too. Of course, their role doesn't matter either. Even if they're a wolf, as long as they're not the culprit of the case, voting for the dead will result in a punishment. Although, please note that if the dead culprit happens to be the Joker, voting for them will still count as voting for the Joker, so be aware. Unless you all want to have a suicide party.
But still, Shoji is the guilty one here. All Nishino wanted to do was help everyone.
And why does it matter?
What?
We've already found our culprit, yes? So perhaps we should just all vote, instead of listening in to the emotional shenanigans, yes?
Wanted me?
Listen, this is what happens when you allow a murderer to get deep within your psyche and pull on your heartstrings. You start to empathize with them, and you begin to think to yourself, maybe they're not actually guilty. Sure, they killed someone, but at heart, they're innocent. Am I right, Sawa?
You're scaring me.
Listen up, everyone. I have an announcement to make, so I hope your ears are all wide and open. Kasei Nishino is a murderer. Got it? A murderer! So isn't it just pathetic that you're all empathizing with him right now?
Hanako, he was forced to kill! He never had the intention to do so. He was pushed against a wall and that was the only thing he could have done.
Oh, if Nishino was such a good person like you all said, why didn't he just cough up that he was the killer right from the start? If he was a good person, he would have let Shoji out of that freezer in the beginning.
That's because...
He's using his sob story to play the victim. Are you all really so gullible? His intention, ever since the beginning, was to leave this trial alive and have someone else die in his stead. So if all went according to his plan, 2 innocent people would be dead because of him. Is that what you want?
That's not what I was trying to do!
I don't care about your intentions! You're the only one who should be dying here! No one else.
Hanako, we never said that we wouldn't vote for him because we empathize with what he had been through. Yes, we feel sad, and yes, we feel sorry for him, and I feel terrible for what I'm about to do. But at the end of the day, this is X's fault, and no one would have had to die if it wasn't for X.
No one would have died if in the beginning you hadn't excluded them from our group.
Huh?
I'm only saying this because I was assuming you all would switch up your votes after what Nishino said. But it seems like you can still be logical about your decisions. So, I'll leave it at that. Anyways, Izumi, I see that you were writing in your notebook throughout the trial. Yes?
Huh? Yeah.
Alright, then I think we should go over this case one more time before voting. Just in the event that there's something we may have missed. Is it okay if I leave that up to you?
Yeah, sure. This is the truth of the case. It all began on the morning of the second day. At the dining hall, Shoji was making a ruckus about how he was the Joker, and that he wanted someone to swap roles with him so he could kill Shion. But the truth is, Shoji wanted the best for our group. He knew if another murder occurred, he would have been the first to blame. And if Shoji is voted, we all would have died. So, the culprit decided to take Shoji's offer and swap roles with him. They slip a note under Shoji's door the following day, telling him to meet them at 1 AM in the kitchen to exchange roles. Little did the culprit know, Shoji was cooking up a murder plan, and they were about to fall into his trap. The clock struck 1 AM, and the culprit stepped into the kitchen. After trading roles, the culprit was tricked by Shoji into opening the freezer door. This completed the first step in Shoji's murder plan. After that, Shoji pulled out a knife and stabbed the culprits right in their stomach. However, the culprit was able to barely dodge it, just enough to make the attack non-lethal. So, Shoji tried again. He could have killed the culprit right there, but he failed. Perhaps due to him hesitating. This time, the culprit fought back. They punched Shoji's face, knocking him inside the freezer, and closed the door. And due to the freezer's door's special mechanism, it was nigh impossible for Shoji to have stopped the door from closing in on him. He would never be able to open that door once he was inside the freezer. The culprit was now bleeding heavily. Fortunately for them, it wasn't a deep cut, and a first aid kit was available in the kitchen. Thus, they were able to bandage themselves up and eventually stop the bleeding. To hide the fact the kit was used, the culprit proceeded to swap the used contents of the first aid kit with new ones found in the infirmary. Shoji was probably screaming inside the freezer by this point, stabbing the freezer's door over and over again with the knife he had. But none of his inconsequential attempts could be heard. And during all of this, the culprit was cleaning themselves up. Then, once they realized Shoji could die if he was stuck inside that freezer for any longer, the culprit hurried back to the kitchen. But once they opened the door, Shoji was already dead. That was when they stumbled upon Shoji's murder plan written on a note, hidden inside his pocket. So, they decide to reenact it in an attempt to cover up their crimes. After they finished cleaning up the bloody mess they made inside the kitchen, they set Shoji's plan in motion. First, with the recording device they've gotten from Shoji, the culprit recorded himself knocking on a door and set the sound to play exactly at 9 AM. Next, they went to the monitor room to set the timer for the blackout at exactly 9:05 AM. And on their way out, they grabbed the emergency remote, which would allow them to manually turn on the lights at will. Next, they headed to the storage and got themselves a flashlight. Then, they went to the gift shop to take a red envelope. With pen and paper, they wrote the note we saw earlier and placed it inside the envelope. This was all to trick us that the killer is not someone inside the dining hall. The culprit finished preparing the envelope and the recording. They went to the dining hall and placed the red envelope outside the side entrance door. They knew no one would use this door, so no one would find the letter too early and ruin their plan. As for the recording machine, they placed it right behind the potted plant next to the door inside the dining hall for an easy retrieval. And so, the setup was complete. All they needed to do now was wait until daytime. Right before the room doors were unlocked, they headed back into the kitchen and dragged the now dead Shoji out of the freezer. Noticing the knife stained with their blood, the culprit decided to use the same knife to stab Shoji. This was done to make us think that the blood on the knife belonged to Shoji, and not the culprit. This, in turn, caused more confusion about the actual time and method of the murder. Finally, they put Shoji's body inside the empty cabinet and waited until breakfast. It was breakfast time, and the 9 of us gathered in the dining hall. We were all carelessly eating and chatting, blissfully ignorant of the crime that was occurring right under our noses. Then, the clock struck 9 a.m. The recorder played the knocking sound, which successfully deceived us into thinking that there was someone outside the door. We fell right into the culprit's trap. That letter was what provoked us to head to the kitchen. But before we could do so, the culprit was already one step ahead by positioning themselves right next to the door. They swiftly grasped the door handle and pretended to try opening the door, but lied about the door being blocked by something. When in fact, Shoji's body was still lying inside the cabinet at that time. And we all fell for their trick. Because before we could rationalize the culprit's actions, the clock struck 9:05 a.m., and the entire floor went into a blackout. Thus, we decided to navigate our way to the garden by moving along the walls. The culprit, however, had other plans. First, they somehow managed to retrieve the recording machine that Hikari stepped on earlier in the dark. Next, by navigating their path along the walls, they reached the kitchen's door. After closing the door, they took out their flashlight and initiate the final step of their plan. They dragged Shoji's body out of the cabinet and placed him against the door leading to the dining hall. However, they left behind some crucial evidence. A small puddle formed as his body thawed inside the cabinet, thus confirming that Shoji was kept inside that very space for a long period of time. They threw the flashlight into the trash can and headed to the garden after finishing their final step in the plan. Once they heard us entering the garden through the main entrance, the culprit turned on the lights with a remote that they stole. The culprit returned to the group, pretending that they were with us all along during our journey to the garden. And so, To verify the contents of the letter, we all entered the kitchen. To our dismay, what was written on the letter turned out to be all true when we found Shoji's lifeless body lying against the dining hall door. I don't want it to end like this, but there's no denying it. Kasei Nishino, you're the one who did all this! That is my conclusion.
Yep, you got it all right. I'm sorry, everyone.
This is unjust. I cannot believe this.
Yumi.
Well, shall we proceed to the voting process then?
Hold on! There has to be another way, right?
An execution is too much. I don't want Nishino to die.
Yeah, he killed someone, but it was only in self-defense.
Did you not read the rules? We will all have to vote for someone, and they will die. Nishino is a killer. He killed Shoji. A murderer like him doesn't deserve to live. Or do you suggest we vote for you instead? Because none of us are going to leave this place until someone is dead.
What are you talking about?
It's okay. I'm a murderer. I killed someone, and I deserve to receive a punishment equal to the crimes I've committed. If by me dying means you guys are one step closer to escaping this place, then it's okay.
Hey, don't say that. Just stop.
Yo, X, there has to be another way, right? I am not voting for Nishino.
No, I will not allow it as per the stated rules. Someone will be executed after the voting process. And because it seems like you've all made your decisions, we will now commence the voting process.
Wait a minute! Damn it!
Please look at the screen on your podium and select the person whom you wish to be executed. Failure to vote will result in an automatic 99 votes towards yourself. So select the participant you wish to be executed before the timer runs out. whining.
Yumi.
Well,
I'm so sorry. Hey, everything's gonna be alright, Shion.
Nishino! I'm so scared! Everyone thinks I'm a murderer! I don't want to die, Nishino!
Shion.
You're the only one who'd ever believed in me. Without you, I don't know what to do.
It's okay, Shion. You've been holding back your tears for a while now, right? You're already so strong, so there's no need to keep acting like you have to be.
But I'm not. I'm so tired. I don't know if I could do this anymore.
Shion, no matter how scared you are, matter how lonely it gets, you have to keep fighting. I can't continue fighting with you anymore, but your battle hasn't ended, so promise me that you'll live for both of us.
What?
I... Thank you.
Quit whining. And with that, we shall proceed to the execution of Kasei Nishino, the businessman.
Wait, hold on!
Thank you, Shion. Thank you to everyone. Although the time we spent with each other might have been short, I really did consider all you guys to be my friends. You have to defeat X and get out of here alive, no matter what. Because you still have your whole life ahead of you.
And cut. Now then, let the execution begin.
Indeed.
What?
No.
What?
Huh? Huh?
Stand down! What?
Oops.
I disagree.
What?
The truth is, I apologize. I see.
What?
Mm-hmm.
If I may,
I'll curse you!
of course.
Fine.
I see.
Huh?
Please.
Step it up!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Watch your tone.
You!
Well...
I don't like this energy!
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
True. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No. Mm-hmm. Cool. Cool.
What are you?
Say anything unnecessary and I'll slit your throat.
I guess it was a mistake not going back to my room sooner. I anticipated guests, but clearly did not expect them to greet me this way. So, I assume you wish to know more about the rewriter.
Isn't that obvious? Tell me everything you know.
If you kill me right here, another trial will initiate, and you will be voted immediately.
If you've known about the rewriter, then you should already know. I won't hesitate to kill you off once you have no more use for me.
Oh, scary one, aren't you? Alright, I suppose I can spare you some information. In exchange, you will also tell me everything I wish to know.
The only thing you'd be exchanging here is your life.
You do know this won't be our last encounter, yes? What do you think if we, let's say, form a partnership of sorts? In the future, if I have any information, I'll be sure to share it with you, and you can do the same for me.
Tell me everything you know. Then I'll decide whether you deserve my information.
I'm assuming that's a yes to my deal? Alright then. But let's drop the knife and have a normal conversation. Back in my room, of course. Someone's coming.
Fine.
Oh, where to begin? As you probably already known, Miss Shion, all of us were fated to be in this game. And it's already been predetermined that all of us will die.